Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a very good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I would like to thank the Oxford Centre for Excellence for awarding me the esteemed fellowship in this special ceremony in the presence of the most important Malaysians on foreign soil, our students. They are our hope and the future of our country. When I see the much more prominent names that have received the fellowship in the past, I stand before you humbled to be in the same league. It is indeed an honor to be associated with an organization whose focus is on nurturing leadership, innovation, creativity, and networking. I hope to gain much from the members of this elite group of learned fellows in the pursuit of knowledge and practice. Knowledge empowers us to change how the world works. Please allow me now to address my fellow countrymen, the students. Ladies and gentlemen, no matter how far we go in the world, home is certainly where the heart is. And I speak before you based on my own experience, having lived overseas before, as my late father was ambassador to Germany, the Philippines, Egypt, Lebanon, Morocco, the UAE, Holland, Belgium, Sweden, Denmark, and Luxembourg. I too studied here in the UK, ironically in a college with strong roots in Cambridge, and today I received my fellowship from a renowned institution from Oxford. I must be in paradise, well, at least until my next Cambridge Tutors reunion. I put it to you that with our home going through a period of transformation under the leadership of Prime Minister Najib Razak, there is no better time than now upon your graduation to return and be part of this journey. Both the government transformation programs and the economic transforming programs are bearing the results, thus continuing the country's 55 years of development in style and good fashion. Through history, you would recall that in the 70s we were a low-income agricultural nation, dependent on several commodities such as rubber and palm oil. Half of our population lived below the poverty line. But our leaders, together with the Rakyat, transformed Malaysia into a nation with a diversified economy. Through history, you would recall that in the 70s we were a low-income agricultural nation, dependent on several commodities such as rubber and palm oil. Half of our population lived below the poverty line. But our leaders, together with the Rakyat, transformed Malaysia into a nation with a diversified economy. From the 80s onwards, we moved towards becoming a nation with a diversified economy and embraced industrialization. We grew into a moderately high-income nation and is now close to realizing our aspiration of becoming a developed and high-income nation by the year 2020. We have gone through enormous changes, and we are continuously striving for a better Malaysia. We have come a long way from being just a tiny speck at the end of the Asian continent into a nation well respected for its leadership and achievements. Who would have thought that Malaysian companies could make inroads overseas, constructing highways in India, drilling oil and gas in Africa and former Soviet states, and rebuilding the power plant here in the UK? These achievements do not happen purely by chance or luck. Instead, it was shaped by the vision, strategies, and effort of many of the country's great leaders, thinkers, and a vast pool of talents. Talented Malaysians can spur the country to a high income status by 2020. Let us be Malaysians for Malaysia. Each and every one of you has something to offer to our country. Some of you here would be the country's policymakers. There are those who would be scientists to further help modernize the country through innovation. There will be among you lawmakers ascertaining that the law in the country is fair. The government is always keeping its eyes open for the next big opportunity, but the way the world is now, it will take enormous resources in terms of money and talent to make it happen. Earn your degrees here. For those who prefer to stay on a little longer, to work and gain more experience, do so, but return soon after to home soil, for your country needs you. You are our future leaders. Whether or not the country can meet its greatest challenges depends on you. As such, every single one of you will have to develop your talents, your skills, and your intellect. At the same time, you must also be guided by sound wisdom and values. I believe pure learning is of no avail unless it's backed by action. Otherwise, we create dreamers rather than men and women of purposeful achievement. Put your best effort into everything you do. There are high expectations on each of you. Don't let us down. Do not let your family down, nor your country. Most of all, don't let yourselves down, and make us all proud. Ladies and gentlemen, we should count our blessings that we live in a peaceful country. We have never faced any atrocities. We are even spared natural disasters like earthquakes and typhoons, unlike our neighbors. And yet, there are those who want to disrupt the country's development for their own selfish reasons. Oddly enough, there are also those who are allowing this to happen. Many do not realize that it took us a long time to get to where we are now, but we can destroy what we have built in a blink of an eye. Let us not take the country down that path. I say this not as an individual in support of the government. I say this as a tax-paying private citizen. It was Sir Winston Churchill who said in 1941 at the Harrow School, "Never give in, never, 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 in nothing great or small, large or petty. Never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force, never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy." And I quote yet again Churchill, who said, "Never was so much owed by so many to so few." In the same respect, ladies and gentlemen, never will so much be dependent by 28 million people upon all of you here in this great hall of the Royal Overseas League in London. You are the cream of the lot, the privilege to be studying here in the UK. There is no higher honor and pride for a student than to say that he or she graduated from the United Kingdom. So stake your claim, but never, 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 never forget that you are Malaysian, and who you will become is determined in a large part not by what you acquire, but by what you give and how you give of yourself in the name of thy God, thy King, and thy country. May God bless you all, and may God bless Malaysia. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.